it's trying to thread the same needle as Fight Club is, but, like, it's not. I guess I don't know, I 'cause, like, if people are getting the wrong thing from Fight Club, then you could argue that it's not successful at threading that needle.
I mean, by that comparison, I think Lord of War is trying to thread the needle like by holding up the thread, holding up the needle, and then having a second person shoot it with a fire hose and hoping that they all go through together. They're like, it's real heavy handed and it's not thread at all.
What's going on, everyone? It's the 20th anniversary of Joe Loves Crappy Movies, and we're taking a look back at the movies of Joe Loves Crappy Movies. So, Joe, what are we talking about this week?
This week we're talking about Lord of War. This is the Nick Cage movie where he plays an arms dealer and he's sort of a down on his luck, you know, lost, aimless young man, and he sort of stumbles backwards into the world of arms dealing and gets rich from it. Uh, and it's the sort of like warmonger that sells to both sides and uh, tries not to think too much about where his bullets go. Um, and it's told in a very fun, cool way, and it also leans to sort of it's like part of it's really gangster, like the way we think about gangster movies in America, where it's so cool to be bad. Even though he's sort of treading the line between good and bad. No, between bad and really bad. That's closer. And then this movie sort of becomes about him being conflicted about the morality of what he's doing and what it's doing to the people around him. Uh, Initially his brother joins up with him, and they do it together. His brother is played by Jared Leto, and this is like pre Joker Jared Leto. This is pre like Oscar Jared Leto. So this is Jared Leto sort of like fresh off the um My So-Called Life world. I guess it's like 10 years later, but he still looks like that Jared Leto. So it's very strange to
And
to
this would have been after Fight Club, also, right?
sure. Yeah, yeah. So like everyone knew who he was and everything, but he hadn't really had like the massive starring roles or the awkward brushes with co-stars at this point. He was probably in his 30 Seconds to Mars era at this point too. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's fresh-faced and young Jared Leto. You love it, right? So as brothers, they do it together, and his character gets hooked up with drugs because guns lead to drugs. Like if you're doing one bad thing, you might as well do this other bad thing too. But he can't deal with the drugs, so it sort of ruins his life. He falls in love with this woman played by Bridget Moynihan, and she's sort of this up and coming, you I don't know if she's an actress or she's just kind of like a person of note. Like I guess she would be an influencer today, but you know, she gets married to him and they have a kid, and then her life sort of falls apart. It reminded me a lot of like in the Sam Raimi movies, What Happens to Mary Jane, where she is on a high trajectory course and then she just sort of like fizzles out and is waitressing downtown and like not doing so great. But her, like Bridget Moynihan's character, is directly related not to Spider-Man but to Nick Cage, and like his busy schedule and him not being around. So even though he's making tons of money and living this sort of like quote unquote glamorous life, selling guns to gangsters, he, his life is falling apart in other ways, and he's starting to see that the effects of what selling guns can do to the people around him and the people, you know, on a grander scale. Um, and that's where the movie, for me, sort of needs to pick a lane. Like, I feel like a gangster movie, and I'm gonna keep calling this a gangster movie because it presents that way. Like, it wants all the cool things that come with being a gangster movie. It wants, this guy in here that has a gold gun. It's golden. And he's like, "Can you get me the gun from Rambo?" He says that to him, but he's living a gangster life, and it presents this as cool, and it presents things like that as cool. So it wants to be a gangster movie. I'm going to keep referring to it that way, but a gangster movie can be cool if it's willing to not comment on the morality of what it is to be an evil person. This movie sort of wants both. It wants to be cool, and it wants to say guns are bad. And it sort of can't decide which way to go, and then it goes really hard into guns are bad, and for me, it doesn't click so well. It felt really choppy. Um, some things that don't feel choppy. This is a good looking movie. I was surprised. Like, I don't know why I was surprised. Like, I was surprised enough where I went back and I was like, okay, what else is this guy involved in? The director. Um, and I was surprised by his resume. He started with Gattaca. He's like a big high
Wow.
concept guy, actually. Like his earliest, one of his earliest writing credits is The Truman Show. He didn't direct it though, but I was
Wow.
like, yeah, I was like, if you wrote The Truman Show, then like people are going to be like, what do you want to do next? Like, here's your
Yeah.
free pass. And he took that, like he wrote and directed Gattaca, which is the Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman sci-fi movie. After that, he wrote The Truman Show, and then he wrote and directed Sim One, which is a movie about
Oh, is that
starring
the one with, what's his face?
Pacino.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, Al Pacino creates an AI presence that sort of takes the world by storm. He creates a movie star. Um, and I actually just watched that movie for the first time this past year, and I thought it was really good. But then he did Lord of War. Then he did In Time, the Timberlake movie about
Oh, yeah.
where you have a set amount of time it can run out. And he did things like that. But then his career sort of fizzles a little bit, and I could see none of these movies really hit. Like as much as I admire Simone and or Sim One, Simone or Sim One. What do you, I mean? It's written out with numbers, so I don't know. I don't know the right way to go. I like the concept of that. I like the concept of In Time. I love the concept of the Truman Show. But like the movies he's directed have not really taken off. Um, but getting back to my original point, they're all visually pretty solid, and I think this movie is beautiful. It's shot really well, really good ideas visually. There's a couple scenes in particular. Let me see. The first one is the opening scene. Actually, starts off on Nick Cage, and he's talking to camera. He's sort of monologuing, and he's in this field of bullets, but it's a street. But it's just they're saying. I mean, it's a little heavy-handed. This movie's guilty of that. It's guilty of being heavy-handed. It's saying bullets are everywhere. Guns are everywhere. You can't escape them. But it's a good-looking shot. And then it goes into the credits, and we get the life of a bullet. We see a bullet being made in a factory. We see it going down the assembly line, being packaged, going off to, into crates and being delivered to whoever it gets delivered to. And spoilers for the opening credits, this is a successful life of a bullet. This bullet leads its best life and fulfills its purpose. So the end of the credits ends with the bullet being shot into somebody. But as bleak as that is, it's a very cool opening sequence. Um, there's also a scene where uh, Ethan Hawke plays this the cop, the good guy, that's sort of trying to track him down throughout the movie. They have maybe 3 scenes together. The last scene is fantastic between the two of them. Like he catches him in each scene, and in the third scene, he's like, "You're just gonna have to let me go again. They need me. There's nothing either of us can do about it." But it's a great scene acting between two legit terrific actors. But anyway, there's this one scene visually where they're on an airplane and uh, Nick Cage has an airplane full of guns, and there are jets that pull up, and Ethan Hawke is like, you got to pull down the plane. We got to get, take it to the airport. We'll land it. And they're like, no, we're gonna land it here. So they land it in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a road, like in Africa, and people have to jump out of the way. Someone leaves a baby in the middle of the plane almost hits a baby. I was like, I don't know who's in control, but like whoever left that baby sitting in the road should be fired. Long story short, the cool shot is Ethan Hawke, like he gives away all the bullets and all the guns, so like that he can't be prosecuted by the time Ethan Hawke catches up with him. Uh, you know, long walk to get to the point where Ethan Hawke is like, I can't bring you in because I don't need charges, but I can hold you on suspicion for 24 hours. So I'll see you tomorrow. So he's left there in the middle of nowhere, just handcuffed, sitting there, and they do a time lapse of the plane being stripped, like the family car in Vacation. Just like I want to say that they didn't spray paint any bad words on the side, but they stripped this plane to the point where it's time lapse and you see it like slowly sagging, like the wheels come off. I mean, it's just like a husk. But anyway, very, very cool visually. And to me, those scenes where he would butt heads with the law were the most interesting scenes. There's one scene early on where he's on a boat. The boat is suspected of being dangerous. Ethan Hawke and his patrol are coming up, and and Nick Cage knows they're coming, so he's like, "All right, let's change the name of the boat." A guy jumps off the side of the boat, starts repainting the boat, and he's like, he says to his brother, he's like, "Give me a flag for this country." He's like, "I don't have that country, but if we turn this flag sideways, it does become that country." so so it's a scene of like them sort of like scrappily dealing with the hiccups that come along with running guns. All that stuff super interesting, and to have Hawk and Cage butting heads each time was really cool. There's one other actor worth mentioning. His name is Walker. He blew me away in this movie. He plays the like South African warlord that is his main connection, his main like seller. Um, so this man's name is Iman Walker, and I don't know that I'd ever seen him before, but he had such a great presence here. He's very funny but very scary, which is a hard thing to pull off. It sounds easy, but it's really hard. And I don't know why I've never seen him in anything before, but I could tell you why I haven't seen him in anything in the past 10 years. It's because he's in one episode of Chicago Justice, one 4 episodes of Chicago Med,
Oh.
13 buckle up. 13 episodes of Chicago PD,
Ooh.
and Bro's a fireman because he's in 253 episodes of Chicago Fire. He got fully sucked in early 2012 into the NBC's Chicago Expanded Universe, and has lived there for the past 15 years. So good for him.
Yeah, good for him. He's got steady work for the past 15 years.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's probably not the work he grew up dreaming about, but it's a paycheck. It's a good paycheck, and I'm sure it's good work. People love that show.
That's like a Grey's Anatomy role.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there
20
anyone
years.
on Great is there anyone on Grey's Anatomy that's been there for the full 20 plus years that it's been on?
I think only 2 actors.
Two actors with, 2 homes in the
Yeah.
world. Like they got they definitely have pools in both their homes. There's no doubt about that. Um, so I really enjoyed him as an actor, and I enjoyed this movie for the most part. I did struggle a lot, like what I was saying earlier on. That was my main takeaway from it was like this movie it wants everything. It wants to be the coolest movie you've ever seen, but also at the same time wants to like teach you a lesson. It wants to blow your mind, and then it wants to change your life. And I don't think you can do both. Like I don't think people walk out of The Godfather saying like, I feel like, you know, being a gangster is wrong and you shouldn't do that to people. No, people walk out of that, saying like, oh, I'm funny like what? Like a clown? You look at me, you see a clown? Like nothing like yeah. You can't have both. You can't have both. And this movie I think chooses I don't know.
Going back to one of Jared Leto's other films, Fight Club, is it the kind of thing where, because Fight Club is, I think most people take the wrong thing from Fight Club,
Sure.
where they think Fight Club is good, like,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's not. Like,
I
uh, do you think it's the same kind of thing where, um, Lord of War is like, it's trying to thread the same needle as Fight Club is, but, like, it's not. I don't know, I 'cause, like, if people are getting the wrong thing from Fight Club, then you you could argue that it's not successful at threading that needle.
right. It's like they're threading the needle, but um not everyone knows what sewing is. I mean, by that comparison, I think Lord of War is trying to thread the needle like by holding up the thread, holding up the needle, and then having a second person shoot it with a fire hose and hoping that they all go through together. They're like it's real heavy-handed and it's not thread at all. So, but I think Fight Club is a great example because that is a movie that posturizes as it presents as cool as hell, but
Yeah,
they at the same time they are saying something. And if you I mean, what something that makes it even cooler than hell is that, like, if you get it, great. If you don't, then fuck you. Like, who cares? Like, they don't care if you get it, because if you know, you know, and then you're in the cool kids club. Maybe the wrong takeaway from Fight Club, the cool kids club. But I think that's a good comparison in terms of like having your cake and eating it too. They're trying to do both things. I think Fight Club successfully does both things, even though
yeah,
most people don't know,
yeah.
or not most people. That's stupid. But even though there are some ding dongs that don't get it, God bless those get ding dongs.
Um, so, like, I guess, like, I'm trying to still connect, like, Truman Show to Lord of War.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Lord of War, and I don't know that I've seen many of his other movies either. So you mentioned, like, Gattaca,
yeah.
Sim 1 or Simone, um,
In Time, the Timberlake one.
In Time. Like, I'm aware of all of those movies, but I don't know that I've watched any of them, honestly.
You know what? I would say none of those are great except the Truman Show, but they're all great pitches or elevator pitches. Another one is he did Spielberg's The Terminal. He wrote
Oh,
that. He
okay.
wrote that. So they're all great elevator pitches. They're all like high concept. Like even The Terminal. Terminal is like you're going to an airport, but you can't get through, and you can't afford to go back. So now this is your home. That's a great idea for a movie. I don't know if that movie's good, but so like it's also strange because they like thematically they're all over the place too. Like you know
Yeah.
they're for different people almost, but they're good ideas, all of them at their core.
Mhm.
So maybe that's what his thing is. He just finds a great idea and just like hashes it out until it's a full on movie. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Has he done anything recently? Like, what's his most
Okay,
recent work?
so yeah, so his last couple I didn't recognize. Last one was in 2018. It's called Anon and stars Clive Owen and uh, Amanda Siegfried, who are great. Love them both. When I hit Upcoming though, I was like, holy crap! I was very surprised. I don't know if he's attached to direct this. All right, as a writer, Upcoming, he's got the Monopoly movie. I don't know if
Oh,
it's them. I don't know if it's that. Yeah, this movie centers on a boy from the game's modest Baltic Avenue on a quest to make a fortune. Great idea. Love it. Would watch. And it stars Kevin Hart. I'm on board.
is wait, whoa. Is Kevin Hart, like, I wanna call him Mr. Monopoly, but I don't think that's his name.
I mean, I wonder if they would call him that. It's not listed yet because the only people attached to it right now are Andrew Nicoli, Kevin Hart to star, and Tim Story to direct. Tim Story, I think, is a good director for a movie about Monopoly. Like, he's real solid. He'll get it done. I'm not worried about it.
I was gonna say, like, is Kevin Hart Mr. Monopoly, or is he the boy?
He's the boy. Oh yeah, he's not the bad guy. He's, well, is he the boy grown up?
No, he is the boy, like, he's the boy.
Oh, okay. Now my mind just went boop. It's animated. It's got to be animated, right?
Oh,
Then he can be the boy. That's not
then he could
weird.
be I mean, like, with Kevin Hart's size, I could see him realistically playing a boy.
I would watch it. All right, let's see. He's got two other movies coming up. One is called I Object, like I Robot. It's a I Object. It says, grieving the loss of his father and unable to relate to the people in his life, 10-year-old Tom, possibly played by Kevin Hart, takes refuge in everyday objects around him. They reveal their true identities and speak to Tom, helping him in his healing process. So the things talk to him. It reminds me immediately of, do you remember the show Wonder Falls, where
Oh, yeah. Went on
there were little
DVD.
objects. Yeah. This stars Bentley Stortboom. Great name. This kid's name is Skywalker Hughes. All right. This also looks like it could be animated, but he's attached to write and direct this. Great. Would watch. Love the concept. But then the last one kind of blew my mind. Upcoming listed as director and writer, Lords of War. a sequel.
Oh!
I know, I couldn't believe it. So I I clicked that, and apparently, Yuri, this character Yuri, Nick Cage plays, the world's most famous arms dealer, discovers that he has a son. He knew that though. Anton, who is trying to outdo his father by raising an army of mercenaries to fight in America's Middle East conflicts, triggering a father-son rivalry. Great, love it. Who's playing the son? Oh, attached, ready to go. Bill Skarsgård.
Well, I
Love
thought
it.
you were gonna say Kevin Hart.
Oh my god, that would be so much better. As much as I loved it when I saw Bill Skarsgård's name attached. I saw this a couple days ago. I was like, "Oh my god, Bill Skarsgård." Because Bill Skarsgård is a good match for Nick Cage's like looks and like charm and madness. Like they're both the same level of crazy. But yeah, Kevin Hart, that'd be great too. Now, I did try to Google more of this online. The only news stories about it were like from a couple of years ago, like being Skarsgård being attached. But if you go to IMDb, there are more people listed in the cast, and there's actually it looks like photos from set, I want to say.
Ooh, okay, promising.
So even though I wasn't real down on Lord of War, Lords of War, I would watch. Yeah,
Nice. So do you own this on DVD/Blu-ray?
I do not. This is the kind of movie where even at the time I was like very interesting to watch. I cannot imagine revisiting this. And in my revisit now, 20 years later, yeah, good to go through, but I don't want to return to watch this character who I don't like lose at life. And then, like it was not it's not something to be revisited over and over again, which is kind of lots of movies are like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, but when Lords of War comes out,
Woo!
you
I
gotta
might
you
do
gotta
another rewatch.
you gotta watch the first one because otherwise you're gonna get lost in the
And if
second one.
only I owned it. Now I have to pay to rent it again? No. Before I forget, before we move on to the ending, uh, it bears mentioning that the craziest thing about this movie, the best thing about this movie at the time, even, is the poster. The poster is this picture of it's just like portrait of Nick Cage, but completely made of bullets. And I remember walking through the theater and being like, I don't know what that movie is, but they nailed it. That is like it was like the best poster I'd seen in ages. Just
Yeah.
really gorgeous. Looking at it now, like I feel like somebody painstakingly made it, and now someone would just go to AI and just be like, Nick Cage made out of bullets, and they would just pick one, which kind of breaks my heart because what they put together is really sharp. Like, skip the movie if you want to. Check out the poster. Watch the poster for an hour and 20 minutes.
I was gonna say I don't remember much about the movie. Like I can kind of like picture the trailer in my mind, but I
Sure,
definitely remember the poster.
it's a stunner. It's such a good poster.
Yeah. All right. So if somebody's looking to watch something with similar vibes to Lord of War, is there something you were to recommend?
I got two quick ones. One is another arms running movie starring Jonah Hill and Miles Teller. It's called War Dogs. This came out, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago. Um, it's the same, conceptually the same, like um, same subject, themes, and everything. But it embraces the gangsterness of it. Even the poster for that movie is kind of like a Scarface ripoff poster. Um, but even the way it's told, it's all from Miles Teller's perspective, and he sort of is monologuing the whole time. And same thing. It's glamorous, then it ruins his life, and he needs to rebuild. It's a very similar movie, but it's sort of like streamlined to be dumb Hollywood fun. It to to circle back on what I like my thesis. It does not try to beat you over the head that guns are bad. It almost is like we're having fun knowing guns are bad. Now it's not fun anymore. Now we go home. Instead of, it's like at no point are they like, this is the way, this is what we got to do. So it knows what movie it is. It's a dumb Hollywood movie, but enjoyable, fun to watch, and I like those 2 together, Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, great. The other recommendation is, from the same era as Lords Lord of War, and it's Jason Reitman's "Thank You for Smoking," which, sort of is told in the same way of, like, the glamour of selling a dangerous product, um, and it's told like a voiceover, monologuing, and, uh, that one stars what's his name? Aaron Eckhart, and he's fantastic in that movie. I really love Thank You for Smoking. Um, plays more like sharp satire than this movie does, but, all 3 of those movies, like, all both of these movies are better than that 3rd one, or better than Lord of War. I would watch them all. They're all worth watching, but those last 2 are really good.
Cool. Nice. So any parting thoughts on Lord of War?
I can't believe I'm excited about Lords of War, but the reasons I'm excited about Lords of War, the sequel, have very little to do with Lord of War. So, if anything, I'm grateful for this rewatch that it woke me up to this writer-director and what's going on in his life and what he's done, because it does make me wanna revisit some of his other high concept stuff, but this one's a nice one and done every 20 years.
All right, everyone. Have you seen Lords of or I was gonna say Lords of War, but it's not out yet. So have you seen Lord of War singular? What'd you think? Let us know in the comments below. Do you also want Kevin Hart to play the son of Nicolas Cage? I'm gonna start a petition to get it done, and hopefully somebody will see it. But drop us a comment. And if you like this, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you all in the next one.